So part of my job running a medium-sized PR agency is now to meet these social media influencers. These sort of people who have corralled these Instagrammers, YouTubers, tweeters, and they're selling their influence.
Yeah.
You can buy tweets, you can buy campaigns. And after showing, the usual disrespect I have for some of these carpetbaggers, I followed this rather interesting story of this story that hasn't really caught fire, which I think is quite strong, but actually in some ways focuses on the profitability and the commercial value of this new medium. And it was a model, top sort of Instagram model, who had what it seemed on the surface, this bright, shining, sexy life of parties and holidays.
Millions of followers.
Of followers and whatever.
Pictures at selfies every 10 minutes. Yeah.
But the reality was far from different, and her inability to pay her bills, her inability to really live the life that she's projecting, she took her life. So I thought that was incredibly
sad. She had products based on her, backing.
Yeah.
People thought because she had millions of followers and was a social media influencer, there must be money in it. So she realised what I think lots of other people are realising at this point, that maybe there isn't money
There's not hard
in all
cash.
this. Yeah.
You could have a fridge full of isotonic water that's given to you by various things. You could be stuffing your face with canapes every night at every launch you decide to do some selective selfie at, but actually making real money to pay your bills and your mortgage and your tax and your outfits is non-existent. And we've also seen it with the fact that over the last 2 weeks, the Deliciously Ella, this wonderful YouTuber, and her various books and businesses.
Really good cook. I love her food, by the way, but her delis didn't work, right?
When you try and commercialize these people, it's great when people are looking at it. It's the same as the music industry. When you get stuff for free, expecting people to turn up and buy the stuff is a big leap. Millie McIntosh's business.
The Made in Chelsea girl who had millions and millions of followers, and her fashion business has just crashed and burned. So this social media success story really flatters to deceive. I mean, the whole online world, I think, is under a microscope. Everybody thinks, it's the future. Well, look at national newspapers. They went online. What's the Daily Mail? I think gets 60 million hits a week. It's a phenomenal success story numerically. Not a single newspaper can make any money out of it. I wonder what the future really is here.
Well, the future is great for Facebook. It's great for YouTube. It's great for Google, who are capitalizing on the ads. The advertising people, are running to the hosts. So as more people lump content onto the channels, the channel operators are the ones laughing all the way to their tax havens. I think that one should at least question, sure, if you want a bit of a lifestyle, but, when it came to hearing a story about a girl who gave up her medical degree on the hope of she would be a doctor to now become some sort of fitness guru.
Who needs to be a doctor when you can be an Instagram star?
You can be a fitness guru.
And take selfies of yourself.
Telling everybody about your lifestyle.
That's a useful way to spend your life.
So it looks sexy for the first 2 or 3 months, maybe the first 2 or 3 years, but after that it falls away. And if the Ellas of the world, all that bucket load of hype is going to fail, and the gorgeous celebrity-loving Millie McIntosh, then that should be a big warning to people to say, all that is glitter is not gold.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the example of the newspapers, why are they still piling all their efforts into the online editions? I mean, big time. I mean, the Mail is putting out 2,000 stories a day every 24 hours, which if you think about it is phenomenal. Why are they doing this? Because they daren't think of the possibility that it will fail, because they put so much effort into it, and the culture is so much geared towards the fact that online everything is the future, that if it isn't, many businesses are engaged in a kind of Armageddon policy. They're killing themselves.
Yeah, it's the shortest route to the bottom, and it's cannibalization. and actually it's a lack of ideas, and the disruption that's been across media with social and whatever, there are no real answers. And of course, people aren't focusing on the now. I thought the statistic that the last VCR tape was produced only 2 years ago. Now, one would assume that that was dead technology, that we had DVDs, and latterly the death of Blockbuster, we're all going into watching Netflix and streaming. Yet somebody somewhere for over 20 years was plundering dead technology. And that is a lesson for us, that we need to focus on making money out of the now. And part of the reason why the growth of all these Instagrammers and the phenomenon that exists and why brands are going to it, because in the world of advertising, media and whatever, you can't talk about the now or old media, because you always have to project how far ahead you are with the new type of newspaper, the new type of PR agency, new type of social media agency. And it's actually, you know, the future doesn't have the answer. We haven't got to grips with where this is going, and there's too much natter about it and not enough of a reality check about how we move mass numbers and make money out of it.
How we turn big numbers into money, and that's
Correct.
the tragedy or the problem with the online world, is lots and lots of businesses, newspapers included, are attracting vast numbers and then hitting the buffers because they can't make any money out of it. And it will be very interesting to see the way all sorts of businesses develop. But in the meantime, I'm absolutely heartbroken that Millie McIntosh's fashion business went bust before I had the chance to buy any of her items. Sorry about that, Millie.
But Professor Green is laughing, isn't he?
We're all laughing. That'll do, yeah.
Okay.
That'll do.